Hello, you are welcome again to the channel. My name is Blessing Ejechi. Today we want to look at how you can prevent yourself from having a spirit spouse, such as a spirit husband or a spirit wife. I have told you before now that many people that have this spirit spouse did not choose to have them. Most of them had it unconsciously as a result of the activities that they engaged in, whether directly or indirectly, the sacrifices they made, or some fetish activities that was done by them or the people that had oversight over their lives. Now, let us look at the ways you can actually prevent yourself from being married to these familiar spirits that are known as spirit spouse, spirit wife, or spirit husband. Number one is stop submitting yourself to those whose source of power are questionable. If somebody's source of power is too good to be true, it shows that person's source of power is questionable. When a person says he's a pastor or a man of God, but you see that the activities that this person is actually performing or the sacrifices that he's making is against biblical injunction, is against the word of God, you should know that this person may not necessarily be using the power of God. There are many pastors today, in quote, people that call themselves pastors in quote, that call the name of the Lord, but they are not working for God. Most of them are working for the devil. They are using familiar spirits to work. That a person is prophesying to you does not mean that that person is a pastor. A person is telling you visions. A person is prophesying to you does not mean that that person's source of power is from God. If a person's source of power is from the devil, it is possible for that person to marry you to a spirit, to a familiar spirit. So, if a person's source of power is from the devil, it's questionable. You are not trusting the person's source of power. You should be very careful. Don't submit yourself to that person. Number two is don't be involved in fetish things, sacrifices that are ungodly. When you involve yourself in those things, you are becoming in agreement to the works of darkness. And one of the quickest ways that the enemy gets married to people, or this familiar spirit get united to people, is through these fetish activities, these sacrifices that are carried out by one person or the other. Then another one again is don't have sex with anyone that is not your spouse. Anytime you have a sexual relationship with a person that is not your spouse, you are making a covenant with that person. You don't know the spirit that is working in the life of that person. Now, the truth is that you can prevent yourself from contracting HIV or sexually transmitted diseases and infection, but you cannot stop the possession of familiar spirits into your life when you have sexual relationship with a person that is not your spouse. It is an entrance gate. Having sex with a person that is not your husband is like opening a door. It is an inroad to the activities of the devil into your life. Then another thing that you should also not do if you want to prevent yourself from being married, or you also want to close the door against spiritual husband or spiritual wives over your life, is you should stop masturbating and watching pornography. Now, your one of the gates to your spirit is through your sight. Anything that you see has the ability to enter into your spirit. If you open your eyes to begin to look at ungodly things, such as pornography and some other things that does not glorify God, it can go a long way in opening the door of your heart and your spirit to be married to a familiar spirit. Lastly is stop having lust. Stop, you just have to discipline yourself against the spirit of lust. When you continue to lust after the opposite sex, it can also be an entrance road to familiar spirits. When you are submerged in lust, in the thought of a person that is not your wife or your husband, it goes a long way to introduce familiar spirits into your life. All these and many other things that we did not talk about today are ways that you can prevent yourself from being married. Please, if today is your first time of watching this channel, I would like you to subscribe. And also, if you are a returning subscriber, thank you. But if you have been watching these videos and you have not subscribed, please, I would like you to do so. And the Lord will bless you. Thank you so much.